All right, welcome everybody. It is David Thomas. I've got Mr. Jay Woolwine with me as always. We're here to shoot your weekly dose of motivation, inspiration, and education. So we jump on here every Tuesday around 4 p.m. Eastern to impart some knowledge, some value. Hopefully, you're getting a lot of value out of these. And so a lot of times we'll talk about trading mindset, which actually we're going to do today. And other times it'll be personal development. The whole point is just to help you become a better version, of yourself. But today we're going to be talking about emotionally detaching from trading. All right. The deeper I get into trading, and I'm sure Jay had the same experiences, the more I realized that emotion is literally the number one killer in the game, and second to risk management, but definitely emotion is number one. Every single time you feel greed, fear, hesitation creep in, you typically sabotage yourself. I know I did. You can have the best strategy in the world, but if you can't execute it without emotion, you're doomed. You know, I used to think experience meant just time in the markets. I just needed more time in the markets, but it's more than that. It's training yourself to think and act like a machine. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't use your analysis, but it means the emotional side is out of this. Like you're not taking a trade because of fear of losing or things like that, right? The market doesn't care about your feelings, your hopes, your gut instinct. It rewards discipline, it rewards detachment, and it rewards execution. And that only comes when you analyze yourself as much as you analyze the charts.
Exactly. I mean, we always hear, trading is 90% psychology, right? But the reality is that most traders don't even work on that part, right? They focus on entries and exits and their strategy and which indicator is going to be the golden one, right? But they ignore the mental game, right? All the personal development stuff. And I used to get so frustrated when I take a loss, and then I like it was like I took it personally, right? Then I'd revenge trade, right? Jumping back in just to show the market I was right? That I was wrong twice. That's just pure emotion, right? And it just wrecks your account, right? The only way to kill that emotional reaction is through experience and being very self-aware, right? That structured self-review, right? We record every trade we take, right? We journal it, and we give you guys a journal. We teach you how to use it, right? And then we break it down later, right? Did I stick to my plan, right? Was my risk management plan solid? Right? And did I make decisions based on logic or emotion, right? Dave and I talk about this stuff all the time. Like there are times when we talk about getting out of a trade and we'll say like, are we making this decision because it's logical or because we're scared or because we're greedy, whatever it is, right? Is it emotion or is it logical, right? And the more that we do that, the more that we see our emotions kind of fade into the background, right? And logic comes to the forefront. So trading becomes more methodical and less personal.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, you got to detach yourself from the money, from the outcome. It's like a pilot flying a plane. You know, he doesn't react or she doesn't react emotionally when they hit turbulence. They don't start getting all, freaked out, right? They follow the flight plan. It's the same thing with trading. You execute the trade, manage your risk, and you let the probabilities play out. And the crazy part, the less you care about any single trade, the better your results are going to get over the long term. The moment that I personally stop feeling the need to win every single trade, like placing the button, pushing that button, expecting to win, the equity curve changes, right? It starts to climb steadily. It's obviously no guarantees of income here, stay compliant, but it's because you're no longer fighting the market. You're just executing your system. That's what I was doing. I just started executing the system. And it takes a little time. You're not going to get that overnight. It comes with touching you touch the oven or touch the pot and you get burned too many times, right? I'm gonna stop doing that. You don't just wake up one day emotionless. You have to train it, you have to refine it, and you have to track your progress.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where most traders fail, right? They don't track their personal performance, right? Beyond their P&L. Like, am I up or am I down, right? That's really all they're doing. And it's not just about winning trades, it's about trading well, right? It's again, we go back to that self-review, right? Being self-aware. We spend as much time reviewing our trades as we do taking them, right? Anybody can click a button. If you followed like Tom Hugard or who's the other guy?
Mark Douglas.
Mark Douglas, right? They're like it's the easiest thing in the world, right? Nowadays, you just click a mouse, right, or touch your phone. Anybody can do it. You could have a winning streak doing that, right? But there's a lot more to it than that, right? And if you don't review your behavior, right, how do you even know if you're improving, right? I have my own personal metrics, right? What I think is important, right? Did I hesitate pulling the trigger, right? Did I follow my stop loss rule, right? Did I feel anxiety, right, before pulling the trigger, right? Over time, you start to see those patterns on how you personally are behaving, right? And when you identify those emotional tendencies that you have, you can eliminate them, or at the very least, be aware of them, right? Be self-aware, and that's what separates pros from amateurs, right? The pros are making trading more mechanical.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what's wild is that once you reach that detached, performance-driven mindset, trading actually becomes easier. No more stress, no more desperation, no more second guessing. It's just process, right? Execution, review, repeat. Most traders think they need to feel something to be engaged in the market. You know, it's funny because when people start trading more, like let's say somebody becomes they go down on their work hours to trade more, or maybe they go full time in trading. I've heard it so many times over the years, they don't feel productive unless they're taking a trade because this is their job now, right? And they don't feel productive. But once they realize over time that actually it's not about being in the market, right? Just like Jay said, hitting that button, anybody can hit a button. That doesn't make you a trader. That doesn't, make you successful. You have to realize that the less you feel, the better you perform. It's not about caring. It's not about feeling productive or one other thing or the other. It's about focusing on what you can control. You cannot control if a trade wins or loses, but you can control your execution. You can control your risk management. You can review your process. And that's where your real edge is going to start.
Yeah, facts right there. Absolutely. And once you kind of build that emotional resilience, right, everything kind of shifts for you. Right? I remember when I first started, like I'd have anxiety before every trade, right? And now it's just numbers and probabilities, right? We know we have an edge in the market, so it's just executing that edge, right? It's no different than placing the same bet on some other statistically proven system, right? That's why just having experience isn't enough, right? You have to pair it with practice and self-development, right? And then look at your trades, right? Look at the top traders, right? They all have routines, reviews, right? Strict discipline, right? You always hear about discipline, right? And that's what keeps emotions out of the equation, right? At the end of the day, if you can't master yourself, you're really never going to have a lot of success mastering the markets.
Exactly. It's all about turning yourself into an elite decision maker, really. No hesitation, no overthinking, just a consistent loop of execute, review, refine. Execute, review, refine. And that's why trading isn't about just a strategy. It's about who you become in the process. So the more control you have over yourself, the more control you have over your results. And that's the true game. That's the real game that you have to master right there. So but yeah, I hope you have value out of this today. Definitely some truth being told. So hopefully you take it to heart and apply it to your journey. All right. So we'll see everybody back next week, or actually we'll see you at the end of the week. But Jay, appreciate you, brother, and we will see everybody back soon. God bless.
See you guys.